evening, everybody. My name's Ken, and I'm your host tonight. I'm excited to be with all of you. Bruce, thanks for letting me know that the sound is working. I appreciate it. Good to see people on tonight. Bruce and George and Eileen, Helen and Bucky, Matt and Patty, Richard, Madeline, Scott, and more. I see people are jumping on. Amadi, nice to have you on as well. And I see we have some friends over on the YouTube chat. Great to have you on as well tonight. So great to have you if you're over there on the stream. And if you're a guest tonight, welcome. We do this business preview meeting once a week. And so if somebody thought enough tonight to invite you, I hope you're showing up tonight with an open mind, ready to think about this. As I said before, my name's Ken. I'm a business owner like some of the other folks that are on here tonight. And I'm also your host this evening. I'm coming to you from Jensen Beach, Florida, which is in South Florida on the East Coast. And I'm excited about what we're going to show you. I think that what you're going to see this evening is a business that is poised for the current marketplace. And it's because of its product mix as well as the income potential. And tonight, we're going to have a great guest presenter this evening, a very successful business owner, a gentleman who originally started this business, and I won't get into his whole background. He'll be able to share a little bit about that, but originally saw this business when he was younger, and somebody showed this to him and said, listen, this could be an opportunity for you. And he had tried some things. He was had worked in a restaurant. He had done some acting. He had big dreams. He had lots of goals. He had originally immigrated to the country. And so he was finding himself with different opportunities and just asking himself, how could he do something more in life? What was going to be a pathway? And then somebody showed him this business, just like you're seeing it tonight. And he took it and ran with it. So with that, I'm not going to, like I said, get too much into his background. Artemio, if you could show up here. There you are.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Great to have you on tonight. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's a truly honor to be here, and I just want to welcome to everyone tonight, and especially if you're here for the first time, welcome. Relax, and just listen to whatever we're going to talk about. I think what we're going to talk about tonight is really important, especially during these times with this economy. And everybody's yeah, go ahead.
I agree. Listen, tell us a little bit about your background, Artemio.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Well, originally I was born in Mexico, and when I was 15 years old, I was forced. I was motivated by my mother to move to the U.S., and I promised her that I was gonna work hard, and I thought that I was gonna stay here for 5 years, work my butt off, and save a lot of money, send it back to Mexico so she can build her house, she can start buying some a construction truck for me. So I said, I was 15, and I said, when I'm 20 years old, I go back, get married, I have my own business, my mom has her home, and I'm ready to live life on my own terms. Yeah, right.
And so let me ask you, so when you came over, you were in New York City at the time?
Yes. Originally, I came to Brooklyn. That's when I started. And man, time flies.
You and I were just chatting. So, I know you started out, you were working in a restaurant, and then, getting some acting lessons on the side and trying to, was going into acting. Was that like your first side hustle idea, or what was it?
It was out of desperation because, like I said, I thought I was going to be 5 years, working hard, and by the time I was 20, I would be back in Mexico.
Okay.
And but no, that was not my case. I was 20 years old, and I looked around. I was still washing dishes, and but now I was working in another restaurant some weekends, and I was making sandwiches. So my hot button was always my mother. Um, Originally, I came with the thought of sending a lot of money to her so she can build her house the way she wanted, but that was impossible with the income that I had. Both incomes combined, I was making $500 a week, and I was, in New York City, apartments are real expensive, and I was sharing my apartment, or it was not even mine. We were sharing the same apartment with 8 different people,
Oh my
so it
goodness.
was very uncomfortable, no privacy whatsoever. And I don't think no one in this room relates to that because most of you guys have, already own homes and all that. But that was my case, and I got desperate when I was 25 years old. I mean, when I was 20, I looked around and I said, "What else can I do?" And one time I was listening to a Mexican American singer that created an album, and with the album, he basically became a millionaire. He went from being poor to become a millionaire singing. And I'm not a good singer, and I just looked at myself at the mirror, and I was inspired by the story that because he bought a house for his mom, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And I tried to sing in the bathroom, and that didn't sound pretty good. So I looked myself at the mirror and said, "Listen, you might not be the cutest guy on earth, but you're not the ugliest." So I got the thought of acting. I said, "Oh, I can become an actor, make a lot of money, and that way I can buy a house for my mom."
That's
So
awesome.
that's why I love this business opportunity, because when I got presented with the idea, I was working in 2 jobs. The average, I was working 10 hours, 11 hours every day. Plus, I was taking acting classes. I never got to the point where I was, I had a good gig in theater or anything like that. I just did a lot of freelancing. If anyone asks me about freelancing, I know all about that because for me, the word says freelancing, working for free.
Well, so the bottom line is you were working like crazy,
Yeah, crazy.
and you had already understood the concept of the idea of side hustle. You already understood the idea, but your problem was you found yourself in a position without any more time because you were already working 10, 11 hours a day.
Yep, I was. Yep, and a lot of people, deep inside of our hearts, the majority of us are confused between being independent and have freedom.
Hmm.
It's a huge difference. For example, if you're an employee and you start a side hustle in anything, whether it could be a ride share with vacation rentals, whatever, actually vacation rentals, you need to have a good amount of money.
Yes, you do.
Homes around this area in Orlando, 3 bedroom, I mean, yeah, 3 beds, 2 baths. Around here, it's close to $400,000. So if anyone was thinking about doing vacation rentals, hey, come up with a $400,000.
Yep.
You know, if not, then do rideshare, buy a car. The other day, a gentleman took me to the airport, and he was driving a Tesla. So I asked him a question. I said, "You're going to tell me you invested $75,000 to do ride shares?" He says, "Yeah."
Wow.
I was like, "Whoa, I'm so lucky because with $76, I started the business." I started
Exactly.
the Amway business. So
Exactly.
this is what I'm talking. If you want, you move it to the next slide,
Yeah.
which is this is where I really want to make myself understand. Listen, everybody is looking for freedom, but because of what we do, all we can do is become independent. Let me explain. The independent equation right now, it's a lot of people are either um, they have their regular jobs, but they starting to do other things. Why? Because the economy, you know. Vegetables cost a lot more money than 2 years ago. Anyway, so people are looking for more because they desire more, and then they're looking for an opportunity to earn extra income, but they have to put the skin in the game. That's what was happening to me. I was a dishwasher. All right, the income that I was making as a dishwasher was not enough. So then I looked for another gig, another job on weekends. So now I had two jobs, but the more money I made, the less time I had. Plus, I was looking for, to get into the acting business. That's another story. So listen, the most people can become is independent. But guess what? Let's go to the next one. No matter what side hustle you do, you have to invest time, because time is money in the regular type of side hustles. What I love about this business, as an example, if you're doing ride shares, you're always on the road. You thought you were going to become independent. Yeah, you are independent, but guess what? You're always on the road. You are independent on the road. Or if you're doing the house rentals and all that, number one, you need to come up with a lot of money. Number two, the services, you either pay someone to do that, or you do it yourself. But again, you end up doing it yourself. And anything that is service based, the most you can do is make a lot of money if everything goes well. Why? Because time is money. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Listen, this is what happens whenever you're doing something, you're hustling, but it's not on your terms. As an example, in the restaurant business, people, almost everybody gets hungry at the same time. Breakfast runs from 7 to 9 o'clock a.m. So from 7 to 9, you're doing everything you can to take care of most people, because if you don't take care of them, they go somewhere else.
Right. Because at 9 o'clock they have to be somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with ride shares. It's or vacation rentals. It's always on the, like right now. Um, um, it's gonna be. I forgot the holidays that are coming.
Easter.
Easter. Man, everybody's going on vacation because their kids are off out of school. So,
Yep.
so you can only house one family in your vacation rental.
At the same
No,
time.
at the
Exactly
same.
right. And
Yeah,
everybody wants to take the same holiday weekend. And so those weekends are booked, but a lot of the other weekends are not.
and the big problem is because you cannot duplicate yourself. So let's go to the next one.
Yeah, I was going to say the point here is hustling harder is not the goal.
It's
We know
not
that.
cool. No,
We know
because
that. And what are people looking for? They are looking for, you said it, they're looking for that freedom, and so they're looking for control. They're looking for the ability to have a little bit more. Um, they want a few more hours to themselves every day. They want the ability to be able to live life like the first slide said, live life on their own terms. And the struggle is, and I don't mean to cut you off, the struggle is so many traditional ways or even new high-tech ways
Mhm,
are just another version of trading time for money. That's the issue.
exactly. Now, what is missing? if you want to become independent, yeah, then yes, desire for more. Look for something that can give you extra money and put skin in the game. All right. Now, if you're looking for freedom, then you need to find something that you can have control. All right. That's what's missing in the equation. And if control is missing in that equation, then all you're going to be is independent. You can build as many houses as you want, but the more homes you build, the less time you're going to have for your family. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, you can do, I mean, anything. And the problem is you cannot duplicate yourself. That is the big question.
It's
you know
funny, Artemio. I was talking with somebody today, and they were telling me a story of a friend of theirs that owns apartments, and they call it owning doors. And so this person has quite a few doors. They have more than several hundred. They've
Mhm,
used it for their whole career. They have been doing this, building this.
mhm.
And the problem, it sounds great, right? But the problem is every month it starts with huge overhead. It starts out with giant mortgage payments, and it starts out with lots of carrying costs. And like you said before, you have to have a lot of money to do something like that. And
Maintenance.
so it's very complicated,
Yep.
right? It's almost like the only people that get into that type of game already are very successful and have a lot of money, but the problem is most of them still do not have that control because they just found, that their costs are going up, and what happens if tenant doesn't pay? Well, they still have to pay the mortgage,
and
right?
and, and they're always in a roller coaster. Good year, yoo bad
Yes, exactly. He said
year.
that.
you,
He
you know
said
that, that's what happens when you are independent. Good year, you're jumping up and down. Yeah, you're making a lot of money. Bad year, you lose everything and you start all over again in zeros.
yes.
And
So the best type of business, right, is something where you have a little more flexibility, you have more
absolutely.
control, right?
Yep.
And what are people looking for today? Low risk.
Yep.
They want to figure out a way to leverage their time. They don't want a strict dollar for hour ratio. They're trying to figure out something where they can beat that. And people are looking for that flexibility and being able to work from anywhere.
And that's the great thing about this business, Ken. It's a business that we can work from anywhere. Anywhere. It's low risk. But the most important thing is the third one. I love this part. It's not time equals money. This one, hours, the purpose of this business is that in 1 hour, you can duplicate your income. In other words, time equals different uh, um, income streams. When I was a dishwasher, or if you're a lawyer, you just make money one way, one client at a time. A doctor, the same thing. Now, if you want to duplicate yourself, you're going to have to teach somebody else. You're going to have to set up another practice, another office, and that takes a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of risk at the
Yep.
end. But in this business, you know, I've been doing this business more than 25 years, and I've listened to stories from people from all walks of life, people who were millionaires already when they started this business, and people, and all the way down to people like me that I didn't have anything going on when I saw this business opportunity. I was not successful. I was not going to be successful doing what I was doing, of course, and I didn't have any hope really. My only hope was to become a famous actor. But guess what? I don't know if it was my face, my accent. I don't know what it is, or maybe uh, you know, my birth sign. I don't know. It didn't
You
help
know,
me.
you know what? Listen. I got to say something, Artemio. A lot of people start at humble beginnings. There's a
Yep.
lot of people I'm sure on here who their first jobs were working at a McDonald's, working, in a restaurant, doing other stuff. I have a feeling you would have found you would have risen above and moved into a whole nother level of something. But
Absolutely.
because you're not afraid of working hard and working smart, but it's very interesting when you can have a nexus, put something together where because listen, obviously if you ask somebody this question, would you rather hustle harder or live on your own terms, they're always going to say they want to live on their own terms. But most people can't quite figure out how to put all that together, right? That's the complicated part. And that's what this business does for you, because that infrastructure is already handled by the Amway Corporation.
And this is a great point, Ken. If if you ask someone this question, all right, you want to live on your own terms? Yes. Okay, great. Who is coaching you? Who is teaching you how to do that?
Yeah, it's a good question. The answer for most people is, if they're lucky, they have a family member that cares about them.
Or TikTok videos or YouTube videos?
That's a good point too. Sure.
Yeah, that's it. But those people just mentioned how much money they're making, but they're not telling you exactly what it takes to make that money. and and if you ask them to be your coach, they're going to charge you a lot of money. Whereas in this business, hey, listen, you start with $76. That's how much you invest to start this business. And the Amway company is amazing. That's an amazing platform. Number one, is an international platform where you can expand your business all over the world, more than 100 countries around the world. You can represent 450 products and services. It's amazing. The products. Hey, I was the other day. We went to North Carolina to visit my brothers and some of my siblings that live there, and halfway we met with some family members of Jacqueline.
Okay.
And guess what? We sat at the table, we were having breakfast, and all of a sudden, Jacqueline and I took out our vitamins. And I was telling them, I said, "Excuse me, I have to take my vitamins." And each vitamin that I was taking, I was explaining to them the benefits. As an example, the radiola, to have energy. I said, we're gonna drive to North Carolina, so it's gonna we need energy. So I don't fall asleep on the road. I need to take care of my prostate. So I would take the pill. And they saw me and they saw Jacqueline taking all the vitamins. And guess what? We ended up selling one, two, three lecithins. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it
Yeah,
correctly.
you did.
Okay. We sold one double X. All right. One of the sleep gummies and one prostate vitamin. And
Just because you are showing them that you are a product of the product.
yeah, and that's what I'm talking. And a lot of people, when they see this business for the first time, they think that we're going to train them to become sales people.
Right.
And man, what a wrong idea. Yes, it involves selling, but guess what? I'm not a good seller. I'm good at sharing what I do, what I drink, what I take. And you know what? Once you explain the benefits to other people, it's amazing how much people the lack of knowledge about products they have. Because guess what? People just go to the same store because they are used to buying those products, not because they took time to look at each ingredient that they're intaking.
That's a good point. We are become creatures of habit.
Hey, I used to brush my teeth with a red toothpaste, all right, just because I saw my mom doing that. And I was going to spend all my life doing that. But guess what? When I got into this business, I started brushing my teeth with Glister. What a great toothpaste. So when in this business, we we rely on the information that we have about the products. And guess what? The products are great. I love when my wife wears her makeup. I love when we have a lady that cleans our home. I remember when I was using other products, every time I would sweep and mop the floors, man, that terrible smell of ammonia used to stay on forever, Whereas with these products, they don't have those chemicals like ammonia, like Clorox. Man, the house smells clean, not a chemicalized home. If I can use that word,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm using it correctly. Energy. Oh my gosh. If you go to the gym, we have all the products. If you want to lose weight, we have all the products. And all we have to do is try the products ourselves, so we can become product of the product. And then basically with your passion, you're just going to share the knowledge you acquire. And every time you sit down with people, that's what we do. But I'm not a good sales person. I'm pretty good at sharing knowledge and the product. Man, what a beautiful. And one last thing, if I can tell people about the guarantee of these products. Listen, I haven't found a company that will say, hey, listen, this product is great. Don't believe in my mouth, because if I say that it's great now, I have to sustain it. Amway gives you the warranty, whereas if you or your clients, they're not happy with the product after they have tried it, they can return it, and they don't even ask questions why. you know I love that part. In the US, in the North American business, we have 180 days guarantee on the products. Where else you gonna do that? Where else you gonna find that? It's amazing. So
Absolutely.
great products, definitely. So that's
Absolutely.
a huge part of this business. So okay, moving on. This is what I love about this business. Like I said, the traditional way of earning money or doing business, not all of it, but most of what people can have access to, is they follow this model, the model of 1-to-1 ratio. What does that mean? One customer at a time. It's transactional, and you're always on your own. No one is telling you how to do things, and if they do, they charge you a lot of money. In this business, when I started, I didn't know anything. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a car. I mean, listen, most people, when they start this business, they have either a home, of they have a car, they have a lot good things going on in their lives. But in my case, I didn't even have an apartment because I used to share it with somebody else. I didn't have a car. um, I didn't have many friends. But guess what? I understood a little bit about this business, which came from the necessity that I had, which was to buy a home for my mom. Anyway, so in this business, remember when I said that 1 hour can equal different streams of income? Let me show you what I mean by that. Number one, in this business, you can have recurring customers. That's one type of income. Another type of income is when you build a team of people. And anyone that is listening to me tonight, please, please, this is the right time to start building your community, your client community, and your entrepreneurial community. Why? Because I can set you an example. In 2008 was the last big recession in the US. I became an emerald in 2009. By the time the recession was hitting hard to people, I was making a good income in this business. Why? Because Because I follow the advice that says dig the well before you need the water. Listen, everybody's talking about what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years with the economy.
Yep.
Guess what? This business strives in that kind of environment. So this is the right time to start getting serious about this business, because all you can do with the other models is whenever you want to learn something, they always send you to watch a video or go to the web page where they have the frequently asked questions. Whereas in this business, I did not know anything about this business, but I had someone along on my side all along the way since I started and all the way where I'm at right now. I always have a coach or different people that can coach me in different areas in this business. And that's what I love about this business. So the Amway IBO model is, if you make money, the person who invited you here is going to make money as well. So in other words, the rising tide lifts all boats. Why? Because you get support from Amway. Number one, just I don't have to manufacture products. I don't have to hire the doctors, the lawyers, and I mean, I don't even know what's going on.
Build all the marketing, build all the assets, all the imagery, all the research, and don't forget about all the shipping and all the customer service.
All the infrastructure in 100 countries around the world. It's already set up for us. And number two is the skill up opportunities. I learned so much about just getting into the arena and decide to build this business. That's where I develop my skills. How? I used to listen to audios. I mean, I still do. I listen to at least one or two audios every single day. Every single day. I read a book that is recommended by our line of mentorship. I'm always reading books, and I don't miss any meeting that they invite me to attend. I haven't missed one meeting since I started the business. And also, if I'm having trouble with a group or with a situation, I can always have mentorship, free mentorship. Why? Because if I win, all my mentors they win. That's how this business is built. The traditional way of doing business is the competition. You have to beat the competition. Not in this case. So and here is the equation of the true independence. Like I said, there is a big difference between being independent and have freedom. I don't want to be just independent. I don't just want to make money. I want to have a life. I want to live life just the way I want to live my life. If I
Yep.
want to go to work, I can. If I don't, all I can do is go to the pool and spend time with my kids. That's why I want to live my life. If I want to go to North Carolina, if I want to travel, I can do that. But I was not going to be able to do that with the way I was making money. And the traditional way of making money is either you make money, but you lose time. And if you earn time, you lose money. You can't win. So that's because we don't have control. I don't know if you want to add something, Ken.
Yeah, I'll jump in on some of this. If you think about that equation, you wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't have desire for more, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You wouldn't be here for that. Same thing with the opportunity for extra income. Artemio talked about it earlier. There is an incredible opportunity. What does it really cost? What's the skin in the game? $76 to get started. There are no mandatory monthly purchase requirements. There are no minimum amount of sales you need to do a month in order to stay in business. And he already talked about the 180-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee. But going back to this, I want to talk about this for a second.
Oh yes, me too.
This idea, right, of an opportunity to earn extra income. Some people may be thinking, listen, I just like to make an extra couple $100 a month. That's great, because somebody that invited you here or somebody that's part of what we call your line of sponsorship, if you get started, they can show you how to do that. There is a pathway, a pattern, a structure, a game plan for you to accomplish that. But we know people that are making a couple $100s a month, a couple $1,000s a month, and we know people that make even more than that. And you can't do that without scalability. And that scalability of your time, and it can happen with a variety of different types of businesses. But most of them don't give you what Artemio was talking about earlier, which is that idea of independence mixed with freedom, because you're still going to work. But here, that work can be done differently because you can control how you're going to spend your days and your time, because the people that you help out, your customers, for instance, or the people that you help get going in your business, these people that you get started in your business with you, the community that Artemio was talking about, you building, those people, they don't work for you. They work for themselves. And so they have a desire for their own success, and then you benefit from that. It's a very interesting business model, because most other types of businesses, everything's about competition, and everything is, if somebody wins, you lose. But that's not the way it works here, because, Artemio and I have known each other a long time. Many of you on here know him as well. I have never bumped into somebody that I have had in a way that I've had to compete with Artemio for business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy when I think about that. And that's just a simple example about how this sort of business works. So it's just unique.
What I want to add in this, when it comes to making the money in this business, listen, whether you make $100, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever income, I can promise you that it's not the same hours that we work compared to what people have to do in the traditional way. When people make, it could be $100, it could be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever, $1,000,000, you name it, you put the amount. It's not the same hours. It's not the same lifestyle that is created uh, based on the examples that we have seen in this business. I've seen people in this business that make a lot of money, but they're not canceling their son's baseball game just because a client, they need to see a client. I haven't seen that. We put our family first, and then we do everything else. Why? Because this business is flexible.
Yep. It's true.
So, I'm not sure if I make myself understand, but I wished everybody could see that.
Yeah,
It's
what
not
you're talking about is that control side.
I have a friend who makes a lot of money. He owns a huge business, and the traditional business. And the other day I said, hey, listen, I'm going to go and visit you. At first he said Saturday, but then he called me. He says, no, he canceled. I said, he says, listen, I'm getting a lot of orders and I have to submit those orders. And I said, no problem. We can visit you on Monday. He calls me back again. He says, listen, I can't see you on Monday, man. Let's try another time. We have done that for the last 3 months.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about, folks. It's not just about making money. It's about becoming. It's about having freedom. And I really hope that you don't take it the wrong way. But listen, I think when it comes down, uh, uh, I think your family matters most. I think your grandchildren. I think travel with your family, I think, would be a lot worth than just spending life just making money. You know. And
Totally
guess
agree.
what? If the worst happens and the economy goes the way people are saying it's going to happen, guess what? You're gonna be scrambling to look for other ways to make more money. You have it, and this is the right time to start, because down the road, around the corner, if I can say it, there are going to be people looking for this business opportunity. I can promise you that. And if you train yourself right now, you're going to be well prepared to help those people. Because what I love about this business, apart from having control, is, let's say, for example, in my case, I went emerald, but I was not the only one who made money. I had to help people to become successful. So, in other words, I help people to grow with me instead of me. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
it's a very different business. It
It's a
is very
total
different.
different business, and I don't think anyone has a problem with that. Would you
Agreed.
have a problem helping other people grow financially, emotionally? I mean, would you have a problem with that? Would you have a problem uh, be, being part of a community that cares about other people, regardless of their religion, color, economic situation? I don't think so.
Agreed.
So I'm so excited about this, man.
I know. You and I were chatting before. People don't know that are on here. Um, and here you are. You are actually on this slide,
Oh,
talking a little bit
thank
about
you.
different people. Here's the bottom line here. People of all walks of life are building this business. Whether you're a single mom, you're a professional, you are a dad with a couple of kids, building a house in Orlando, it doesn't matter, right? Because people don't know, but you used to live in New York. Now you moved down to the Orlando area, just west of Orlando, and you're building a house, you and your wife, Jacqueline. And so, and we could talk about all kinds of success stories because you have a ton of them. There's so many little things you've done along the way, but I think we could spend all night on that. I don't want to do that. I want to let you close out. Let me ask you this, Artemio, if somebody's a guest tonight, or maybe they're watching this recording a little bit later, because I know sometimes people miss it, and
Yeah,
we'll send out a recording for a couple days.
yeah.
Tell me what is your recommendation to them for next steps?
Number one, answer this question: do you really want to live life on your own terms? What? That's question number one. Question number two: I let's say that what other options you have to be financial independent in the next 2 to 5 years? Number three: are you willing to learn how to do that? And if the answer is yes, hey, you are in the right place at the right moment, in the right time, with the right people. So this is what you do. This is what I did when I first looked at this business opportunity. I didn't go crazy. My heart said yes, do it, but my mind was like, oh, you haven't done this. What if this is a pyramid scheme? What if a whole bunch of thoughts, negative thoughts? This is what I suggest you to do. Write down everything that you want to accomplish in your life, whether financially, whether what answer the question: how would life look like for you if you were living on your own terms? Then tell the person who invited you here how much money you need to earn in order for you to create that lifestyle. And I'm sure that that person will help you to create a business plan that you can start right away, that you can start doing, so you can accomplish that in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And it all depends on you. I'm not putting a time frame, but if you do what it takes, that's 2 to 5 years. It's going to be a great time frame for you to achieve your dreams. And the last thing, start listening to audios. I remember when I got presented with the idea, what saved my life was the audios. Why? Because the same day that I made the decision to sign, that same day I was listening to my own family telling me that this was not going to be worth building, that I was not going to be able to build this business because of my situation, because I didn't know anything about business. I never sold anything in my life. So they were saying all those things, but the audios prepare me mentally to um, to face those situations and those opinions. So I used to listen to, the first day I saw this business, I listened to 7 audios.
Wow.
And the first month, I can tell you that, I go back and reflect on it. And I think I listened to more than 50 audios in 1 month.
Wow.
Like I said, I didn't go crazy. I listened to people that were successful doing this business, and that gave me the emotion, the stamina, and the belief that I needed to take the next step. And I will recommend you to, if you're upline or the person who invited you here, they tell you to go to a meeting either physically or online, please do so. If you can't attend to that meeting because you have to work at that time, you can always ask for the recording. But do that. If you listen to at least 50 audios your first month, you're going to be excited, you're going to be prepared, and you are going to be the most happiest person in the whole world. Because I believe, based on my own experience, that all people need in life is hope. They don't need money. The moment people have hope in their hearts, life changes. And I wish that for you. I wish that upon you, because this is not about just making money. There are millions of people who just have money and they live a miserable life. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but guess what? In my opinion, having hope for a better future is the best thing that can happen to you. God bless you, and thank you for listening to me.
Thanks, my friend. Great to be on with you tonight. Thank you for taking time away from the family to share with all of us. Like Artemio said, get back with the person that invited you here.
Yeah.
Get some of your questions answered. Get started. Get going. Listen to some audios and jump in and start taking some action. And you will see the quality of the products and the quality of the people here. So with that, everybody, it's awesome to spend time with you. Like we said, have a wonderful Easter weekend. Uh, Hopefully you get a chance to spend time with family, friends, or loved ones, and just make it an amazing time. I would also say if you are we have a Spanish convention coming up in the New York area, which everybody probably has already heard of if you are bilingual or here tonight, or you have a team that's Spanish speakers up in the Northeast. That will be in Long Island next weekend. We're going to have a small workshop in Pennsylvania in the Allentown area, which is, Eastern Pennsylvania. We're going to have that. Jen and I will be there on Sunday afternoon of next weekend after that event. And like I said, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. Thanks again, Artemio. All my best to Jacqueline. Thank you all tonight. Good to see you all tonight. Have a great night, everybody.
Big hugs to everybody. Good night.